So, basically, real quick, man, what's the worst is basically just a judgment free conversation. The worst just means whatever's been sitting with you lately, big or small. And I just hold some space and listen, or try to shed some perspective, make you feel better at the end of the conversation. What do you think?
Right. Okay, okay. So you just basically asking me questions and I'm just telling telling you my perspective,
Uh,
right?
well, basically, you just tell me what you think is the worst. What's something that's been bothering you, maybe keeps you up? Because I have some people on my side, maybe your side, and
Yeah,
they
we got
may have
mine,
the
bro.
same problem. They just don't feel like they're vulnerable enough to speak up, and we can maybe help some people in like a domino effect type of thing.
No, for sure. Okay, so what's the worst, man? So for me,
Yeah.
what's the worst is, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, yeah, I lost both of my parents, so I feel like that's probably the worst thing.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, life goes on, they're at a better place now. I can't, complain
For sure.
about it anymore.
Was it something
But
recent? It's been quite some time since it's passed.
honestly, it's been some when I was a little younger, you know.
Okay.
I know I look pretty young already,
Yeah,
but
for
I was
sure.
I was a lot younger, a lot younger.
Okay, so it happened when you were really young. Did you had to go move with like a grandparent or something like that, or aunt?
No, so I've always been with my grandparents since I
Gotcha.
was younger. Yeah.
And were you able to like find people to talk to about this, or something you kind of like hold in for since you were younger? Like because being a man, it's kind of hard to speak your feelings, stuff like that. People judge.
Exactly. Most of the time I hold it in, brother, because at the end
Right.
of the day, I know you probably feel the same way, maybe not, but most people don't care about men's opinion or how they feeling. At
100%.
the end of the day, we gotta do what we still gotta do as men.
100%. And that's actually one of the reasons why I do this, because like I had a lot of trauma and bad shit in my life and stuff like that too, especially parents and role models that came and went and were bad. And then I vaulted it up, which next thing you know, I'm blowing up and out like using drugs and getting in trouble with the law and all these things like that. And all I would have took was someone just to listen to me, because all those things that I was doing and negative things were just trying to get attention to show someone, hey, I'm going through something. So by me coming on here and letting people share their story or talk about it, hopefully lets them feel like they don't have to do those things. And does that make
Nah,
sense?
nah, yeah, that makes sense. I feel you, man. And a lot of people, they got their own little trauma. In a way, like you saying, spreading your story or whatever it could have a simple connection to anything. Because at the
100%.
end of the day, we all go through something.
For sure. So have you been able to like kind of grieve or talk to other people about this at all, with that being the worst? Or is it, you have like a brother or siblings that can relate to you with this stuff, kind of made you guys a stronger bond?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, me and my brother, but we don't really speak about it, but we kind of understand each other at the end of the day. You know what I mean? What doesn't gotta be what's unspoken, we already know. But other than that, no, man, I don't really speak about it.
Gotcha. And again, you don't have
Something,
to be that
even.
vulnerable and talk about it on here or put you in a bad mood. I'm just, there's people that grieve all the time in all different ways. It could be a pet dog, it could be a parent, it could be a best friend. So we all grieve differently. And
Nah,
especially if you
yeah,
can see
for
in the man's
sure.
perspective of that, we all have that, we kind of bottle it, is like that might be the problem. Like we all obviously all have the same grief in some way. Why can't we just express it and feel that little bit lighter instead of holding it in?
Nah, yeah, I totally agree, brother. Letting stuff out actually, you know, does make it feel better. Actually, there's one person I mind, my best friend.
Hmm.
He understands me. The I when things had happened, he was kind of the guy I went to go talk to it with. You know what I'm saying? So that's why overall I feel I'm better. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm
That's
glad.
why I don't feel as bad as a youngin. You know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? As a young man, I don't still hold the grief. Yeah, I still think of them, but I don't hold it like, oh, it's my fault, or
For sure.
anything.
Right, right. Or that was the reason why they left, and that's why I got to go and hate these people or whatever. It was just like it is what it is at that point.
Exactly.
So, if you don't mind me asking too, I'm assuming when this happened too with your friend, you guys were both pretty young. Do you feel like he actually gave you any perspective or advice, or he was just there just to hear you talk, and that was what made it feel better?
Yeah, I think it was just me just letting it out.
Awesome.
You know,
Yeah,
me and never leading each other bad. So it was never like that.
that's
Yeah,
awesome. And I'm assuming it made your friendship even stronger that you could be vulnerable and trust him with that information, man.
yeah, for sure, 100%, 100%.
Fantastic, man. Well, dude, thank you so much for sharing your story, man. And hopefully people on my end too that saw your story and that we both agreed on the same thing. We're both pretty confident men that it's not that big a deal, man. And actually it helps.
Nah, of course. Thank you for having me, Johnson,
Of
man.
course, man.
It's my first time in a podcast. Hopefully you blow up, brother.
Well, thank you, man. Hey, real quick too, I always like to ask for consent. Would you mind if at later time the road I clip this and put it into to maybe help some other people?
Clip it, brother. Clip it, brother.
My man. All right. Well, thank you, man. Stay elevated. It's a pleasure talking to you, man. Have a good rest of your day.
You as well, Johnson.
Awesome, brother.